Welcome, everyone, to Coach Launch Formula. Good to see you all jumping in live. I'm going to make sure my audio is right in front of me. Today is going to be a powerful day. Today, we're talking all about your Coach Launch Accelerator. And I have some things to share with you this morning around getting really seen and heard in the marketplace in this economy specifically. I'm going to be sharing with you how to create demand for your coaching business, how to sell it out, but not in ways of a marketer, in the ways that will allow you to have the business that you've been desiring. So as we're getting started, I have VIP in the VIP room. Make sure your cameras are on and make sure we're ready to rock and roll. If you're with me live in the Unleashed Entrepreneur Facebook group or on YouTube or on my page, good morning. Good to see you guys. Thank you for jumping in live. I promise this 45 minutes will be a powerful session. Look, we're going the next 3 days together. This is my Christmas gift to you. I'm going to be sharing what's working right now, this economy, this scenario, the place that we've never been before. So good morning, Heather. I love seeing you in the room. Good morning, Susan. Here's what I need you to do. If you have not given StreamYard permission and you're in one of the live streaming platforms, please give them permission to see your name. Otherwise, I won't know it's you. If you don't give them permission, please make sure you put your name afterwards, because these trainings that I do are always absolutely, totally for you. This is a powerful 3 days. So here's how I want to start off today. I love that Heather's ready to rock and roll. She was so ready. She came yesterday. I love that Heather Dunlap is in the room. Good to see you. I see Barbara in the room. I see someone else that said, good morning. Please put your name so I know who I'm talking to, because we are talking about 3 keys to selling out your coaching business. So vital that you get seen and heard in a very noisy marketplace. So here's how I want to start out. I want to know if you are dabbling in the coaching business, thinking about starting a coaching business, or are already a coach and wanting to scale. So here's how I'd like you to do that in the comments. I'd like you to tell me just getting started. Hello, Lillian. Good to see you. Just getting started. So say starting. And if you've been at it for a little while, but you really want the key tools to scale, I want you to write scale. And that way I know exactly how to gear today's training. Because as I said, I'm going to be sharing things over the next 3 days. Honestly, I was just talking to my team this morning on what is actually working. And then I see a lot of you that are in our certification coming up, Neuro Coach certification. So excited for you to be in the room. I'm so excited for you to get started. We have our kickoff call coming up next week, and we're going to hit the ground running, and we're going to go deep together. Here's the thing. I don't take a stand for people having a coaching hobby. I take a stand for you having a coaching business. Say heck yeah. If you're like, no, I don't want a hobby. I would like a business that takes care of my finances, gives us freedom for location freedom, travel freedom, the ability to impact people. Put heck yes or amen if you're like, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to create. And maybe I've already started and I'm creating it, but it's not going fast enough. Say faster if you're like, this needs to go faster. This needs to go faster. Really, and that's the key. I really emphasize with my certification clients that there is a right and a wrong way to get clients as a coach. And you might be doing it a way that you've been taught that does not work. And so we're going to dive into that today. I'm going to share my screen again. I can still see you down here. I'm going to make sure everything's moving forward and that I'm not starting the timer again. So give me 1 second to make sure all my slides are working. You can hear me fine. So you should see a slide with my picture on it and me down here. If you do, please say tech is working great and we can hit the ground running and go. I have my water here today. We're going to do some work today. So make sure you have a pen and a pencil. Make sure you're ready to get this information that you haven't heard anywhere else. And make sure you have in your calendar to be here. Thank you, Lillian. I appreciate that. Make sure you have in your calendar to be here not just today. This is what I see as a trend a lot of times is we'll see people will come day one and then just drift off. And I'm wondering, do you want that to be your business, to start and then drift off? To be a big fast start, maybe get a couple clients and then never get clients again. If that is a no, if that's a hard no, say not a drifter, not a drifter, because that's what I see in so many coaches that want to grow fast, but they're drifting. They do things first day and then don't do it playful out. So here's my ask for you. Thank you, Heather. I see that you're not a drifter. Who else is not a drifter? Barbara's not a drifter. Lillian's not a drifter. Jean's not a drifter, right? So here's what I know. I know that those that are in the top 3%, when they are getting information, I see you, Beth, when you're getting information that is going to become revelation, which becomes not just inspiration, but application so that you can create massive shifts in your life and in your business. I can tell you the top 3% show up, mark their calendars, don't multitask. I know you hear this in a lot of live trainings. Don't turn on your, do not disturb, all that. Listen, I am not going to, this is my personality. I want you here if you want to be here. If you want to drift, this is not the training for you. If you want to do it halfway, this is not the training for you. This is the training for you that want to absolutely see in 2023, you want to see, or next year, or in December, you want to see your coaching business take off. That means you're committed. That means you're ready. That means you're going to create your own economy and an economy of fear. Who's ready to create your own economy when the economy through the news is fear? When the economy through the news is fear, who's ready to say, I am ready to create a true economy? A true economy. That means my family is taken care of. That means I'm not worried when the bills come. That means I'm thinking more about impact. I see you, Samya. I care more about how am I going to deliver the deepest level of impact in an economy where people are speaking from fear. When people are speaking from fear. And honestly, there is a scripture that says, it was talking about John the Baptist, but I am a voice crying out in the wilderness. This is the way to walk. Why am I bringing up that scripture? Because in the wilderness that is right now, people need solution. You can tell I'm on my on fire moment for you, because this is the difference between coaches that hit 6 figures and 7 figures and scale to multiple 7 figures. I did. Yay, Samia, I'm so excited. I'm like, Samia, I'm like trying to guess. So here's the thing. I could tell you what you want to hear today, or I could tell you what works. I could tell you what you want to hear today that everybody else is regurgitating, that's sexy and marketing and it's all the things that tickle your ears and make you feel good that you showed up for a training telling you what you already knew. Or I could tell you what is literally going to flip the lever on to your freedom and your success in this marketplace that we are in right now. But I need to know which one of those two you want, because so many trainings, and yeah, I go watch the trainings. What are other people saying? I'm like, wow, a lot of people are just saying what someone else said, which is where they're playing telephone with your business. Don't allow someone to play telephone. He said, she said with your business. When it comes to building a coaching business, it's important to know what is working well. Okay. It is important to know what's working well. Okay. I'm fired up for you. So I'm going to share my screen, which I already have. I'm going to pop over here. You can still see me. There's points where I'll probably remove my camera because it'll be distracting. I'll do that and I'll come. So let's get going. If you're ready to go, if you're ready to truly flip the lever, be clear, have a path and know what to do moving into December in 2023 in your coaching business, say, let's go. Say, let's go in the chat. Say, let's. I love Barbara's always like the first one. Let's get going. Let's do it. Let's do it. But I need to hear from all of you because this isn't for me. This is for you. This is for you, telling you the truth. This is the way in the wilderness. Let's walk in it. Good to see you, Catherine. And remember, if you have not given StreamYard permission, please put your name at the end so I know who I'm talking to because you matter. All right, so we're talking about Coach Launch Accelerator. And this is literally the step-by-step path I use to get from zero to 10K months and to 6 figures and beyond. Now our coaching business is at multiple 7 figures. And here's the greatest news in the world. What gets you to 10K, gets you to 6 figures, gets you to 7 figures and beyond with little tweaks. And we're going to talk about that. So here's my question to you. Are you ready to kind of crack this code to get consistent leads and clients as a coach? And if you haven't gotten started yet, are you ready to become a coach in the quickest growing career online? Right now, more than ever, coaching is growing month over month over month over month in a bad economy. Why? In recession. Why? Why do you think that is? Why do you think the coaching industry is growing while other people are getting laid off, while other people are losing their jobs? Why do you think that the coaching industry is growing and growing and growing? I would love to hear your answer to that as I go ahead in the comments. So I'm going to talk today about how to sell your coaching program without a big following, without stressful launches, and without really sleazy, messy marketing. And as I said before, this is the exact formula, process, map I use, and I teach my certification clients to use, and in their time have gotten over 17,000 coaching contracts with no list and no launching. Powerful, powerful tools. So this is the coaches, what I call the millionaire code. We're going to go through it. It's how you tap into brain-based neuroscience-backed coaching certification for life, for business, or for health coaches. So you know how to confidently coach the right way and get transformation for your clients, which helps you build a wildly successful coaching business. And I wanted to see what you guys thought the answer were. None of you answered. Yeah, Heather did. People need help. Yes, when pain is highest, demand for solution is highest in any economy. So if you're a business coach, that's great news. If you're thinking about being a life coach, that's great news. If you are a health coach, that's great news, because what is up right now in the economy, being a recession, stress is at its highest level. And there are ways for you to really be heard and seen in the marketplace. And we're going to hit that today. And I always like to say this, I am not a special unicorn, right? I had to solve my 2 biggest problems. And I'm curious if you happen to have these as well. One of my biggest problems I had to solve is, why can't I get my business past what I love to call the entrepreneur glass ceiling? It wasn't that I didn't have sales. It was that the sales never passed the amount that I needed to feel freedom. If you're in that situation right now, I want you to write ceiling. Like, I'm in it, I'm having a couple clients and then they go away and then I start all over. And then I get a few clients and I start over and I keep this cycle going. And I'd love to know how to actually start building. And so you feel like there's a ceiling there. That was what I was trying to solve. So write the word ceiling if you're in that and you would love to break that ceiling. Yes, exactly. Sonia, exactly. A lot of people are finding themselves wanting more. Yeah, so a lot of you are at that ceiling place where I was, and I know how frustrating that can be, because you know you can help people. You've actually have helped people, but not enough people know about you to create the level of demand so that you can just open the doors and serve people. Imagine how that would feel to know that there is a line of people waiting for you right where you are right now to help them. How amazing would that feel? That literally you just have to open the door and people are walking in saying, I want to work with you. I want to work with you exactly how you are right now because that's exactly what I need. So say amazing or incredible. Tell me how that would feel to you right now. If literally we in this time together, you were able to flip that to where there was a stream of steady demand. Steady demand. Okay, I see that. So the other problem I had to solve for me was that I couldn't get past that glass ceiling, right? And I had the best thing in the world happen to me. Okay. I had the best thing in the world happen to me. One of my biggest dreams was to become a mom. And I found out I was pregnant. This was a little while ago. And the thought came to me of what do I need to give up? Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to give something up. And I literally went into ugly cry, panic mode. You probably heard this story before. And I had a God moment where God was like, what if it's an and? And I started seeking in my mind, who is someone who puts God first, puts family second, is an incredible mom, but has businesses, because I have multiple businesses, so has businesses that are just slaying and is impacting millions and somehow does it all. Anybody want to know the secret to that? Because that was the secret I was trying to find out. How is she doing that? And so I did what every sane entrepreneur would do. I actually drained my bank account, invested in a mentor that looked like she had it all there. And here is the great aha that I had that shifted everything. I discovered in my $50,000 mentorship that everything I was doing, all my strategy, all my tactics was all correct. But you know what wasn't correct? The difference between me hitting that entrepreneur glass ceiling and her with multiple 8-figure businesses. Would you like to know what the difference between those two things were? Because that discovery shifted everything for me. And that's why I'm here sharing with you today. So if you'd like to hear that, say, let me hear. Say, let me hear that. Like, what was different between you and her at the time? Because if you're saying you have a ceiling, then that is the answer you want to know. Because the first assumption I made was she was strategically doing something different, and she was not. So what I learned was she thought differently. She thought differently about worth, about demand, about her ability to sell, about her worthiness, it was the way she thought about the things that was so different than the way I thought about my worth, the way I thought about money, the way I thought about success, the way I thought. And that literally had me take a hard right turn to learn how to think like her. But I just didn't try to go think like her. Isn't that what most really broken coaching teaches you? Is to just think like me, then you'll be like me. Here's the thing I know. You are super smart. I was super smart at the time. And every time I tried to think the way she thought, it didn't work. Can I get an amen on that? Like, I'm trying to think like money is abundant and flowing to me. I'm trying to think like an 8-figure entrepreneur. I'm trying. Can I get an amen that is not the answer? Right. And so, because you're smart enough, and if it is the answer, you would already be where you wanted to be. And that's exactly what I was up against. So in the normal fashion of an obsessed entrepreneur, I actually went and learned the neuroscience of how the brain wires thought. Why I went that way, it's just how I'm wired. I figured if her brain could do it, my brain could do it, right? And if my brain can do it, your brain can do it. And I learned how to build pathways in the mind towards success. I learned how to remove limiting beliefs. Now, they don't call it that. I was trying to solve me. So I was asking, can I combine these things that you're teaching me? And they told me, shh, just graduate. They were so tired of me being a believer, all excited about scripture coming to life in science. They were tired of me solving the problem of me. But here is what I learned. I learned that the only thing that was different was the way I thought. And I started to apply it to my business, and my business took off. And I started applying it to my one-on-one coaches, and then brought it online. Like Barbara, who's here on this call, who in 6 weeks went from 0 sales to over $100,000 in sales in just 6 weeks. And she'll say, in full disclosure, it took her 2 weeks to do the process that we teach on how to transform the mind. And then in 4 weeks, she closed over $100,000 in sales without a team or a salesperson. If you want that result, say, I want that. Say, I want that. Or like Cindy, who is a certified neuro coach, and she launched her group coaching in 2 weeks of starting to $24,000. And if that sounds amazing, say, I want that. Now, these two, as much as they are amazing, are not special unicorns, just like I'm not a special unicorn, right? And of course, I always have to say, this is not a financial guarantee. You are responsible for your own results, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you, legal people. But the difference was they shifted through a process how they thought. They trained their brain to allow the success. Success came. And so I want to talk about that today, specifically on you as a coach, because I want to ask this question. How would your life change? Tell me in the chat if you could enroll at least 10 new coaching clients each and every month, meaning they're standing at your door, they're knocking, and they're saying, I want to work with you. How would your life change? Tell me in the chat. There right now, and I said it at the top, there isn't a new opportunity in this economy for those that know how to transform people's lives every single time. And we're going to talk about that more tomorrow. How do you learn how to coach that you absolutely know you're going to get the transformation and you never doubt that you can deliver results? So there is a new opportunity. Unlike any time in the past, you being a coach now is vital, and knowing how to do it right is incredible. Launching is dead. Who in this room is exhausted by all the marketing that is constantly asking you to do this new shiny thing and this secret and that secret, and this secret, and that secret, and this secret? Who is tired of the launches? Tell me that in the chat. Tell me that in the chat. You can tell this is about you today. Yes. Okay. So Lillian's saying I could quit my job where I have a boss that makes me nervous. I love that so much. I love that so much. I love that. I'm so tired of launches, Jessica says. Yes. So here's the thing. Coaches are not marketing products. This is a phone. We all have them, right? So a phone is a thing I market. Coaching is not something you market. Coaches launch differently. That is something you're going to learn today, tomorrow, and the next day. Specifically, how coaches should never launch like marketers, especially online marketers. And if you have been doing it the way all the marketers have been teaching you, that's part of the problem. It's broken. It's outdated. It works beautifully for things. But can I get a witness in the chat? Is it a vulnerable thing to say, I want coaching? Because if you think about somebody who says, I want coaching, they have to say, I have a result and I can't get to it by myself. Vulnerable. Or I have something I don't want and I'd like to get rid of it, and I haven't figured out how to do that by myself. Vulnerable. Those are not the features on a phone. Those are real lives wanting real transformation. Vulnerable. Coaches are not marketing products. And it's time you learn the specific strategies that coaches need in order to grow. So I'm just going to go through this quick. I want you to imagine having this proven system to master your coaching skills and monetize your business without second guessing or just trying harder. Who's tired of the second guessing of themselves? Like right now, and I'm going to actually I'm going to remove myself. Okay, can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. Everybody said there's a sound issue. Can everybody hear me now? Say yes in the chat if you can hear me. Woo, okay, I don't know what that is, so I'll just make sure I stay on camera. That's very weird. Did you lose sound for a minute? That's really strange. I'll just stay on camera. So that we evidently StreamYard's having an issue, so I'll stay on. All right, so that's my goal for the training. I always like you to focus, and sometimes when my face is there, it's hard to focus. So I'm going to show you how the NeuroCoach certification is the key for both of those key items today. So the only way for you to grow your coaching business is to know the right way to coach. The only way for you to learn that is to become certified as a coach. And I am going to give you at the very end, for those who stay on the whole time, this 7 ways to monetize as a coach. It's part of the Coach Launch formula. It's not the Coach Launch formula. Only my certified clients get that. But this is a specific roadmap for 7 ways to monetize as a coach. I used one of these items to get over $1 million in my coaching business. That is yours as a free gift. Merry Christmas for those of you who stay on the whole time. And of course, it's not a promise of income. So just quickly, we never knew each other before today. I'm a master business coach for over 14 years. I help those who are just getting started grow to 6, 7, and 8 figures. I have a background, a PhD in neuropsychology, and I'm the founder of the neurocoaching model, the neurocoaching certification, the mind matrix, STEBDAR, and brain priming, all part of that model that builds a success pathway in your mind and removes the path that is taking you off your goals. I'm also an entrepreneur of multiple 7-figure businesses and a founder of a charity called Mosaic Vision, going on 17 years working, helping to AIDS orphans in rural Uganda. This is my why. Because I love my family and I love traveling and I love impact. There's nothing that lights me up more than seeing somebody step into their calling and fulfill their destiny in this world. It is what lights me up. I'm curious. Tell me in the chat, what lights you up? What is your why for wanting to do this coaching business? Evidently, I like this color because I was wearing that color in the picture. What is your why? What is your why? Like, why is it that you want? Do you want freedom? Do you want impact? Like, what is your driver? I need you to take a second and write down, what is the reason? Because otherwise you just go work for somebody and you would do what they tell you to do all day long, and that would be fine. But now I want to know, what is your driver? What is making you say, I want, or I'm going to do my business? And Lillian's saying freedom. Jessica's saying transformation for me and for others. Freedom, presence with my family. I want 100% of you commenting right now, because if we don't know why we're wanting to do the thing we're doing, it's going to be hard. So my choice is easy or hard. We got to start with this. So personally, Heather's I want to travel. I love seeing my clients and find financial freedom. Now, financial freedom is a very important thing that I teach in the certification, because there's nothing worse than a broke coach that doesn't believe that they can sell trying to sell. It's hard to get your clients to believe more than you do. So Catherine's freedom from travel and see family, friends, meet new people, help others. Heather Dunlap is time freedom, financial freedom to make choices based on what I want instead of what I need. That was exactly what I was just talking about. Get out of survival mode. Who wants to get out of survival mode? Who's tired of the feeling of survival mode? Who would rather be fixated on getting your clients results, knowing that the law of sowing and reaping, it just means it's coming back to you? Freedom and health, well-being for people and the planet. I love your answer so much. You're my type of people. You're my type of people. That's why I know. So because I unleashed my mind and created the neurocoaching model and helped thousands of entrepreneurs, I've been able to do some amazing things, hanging out with some amazing entrepreneurs that you may know, Pat Flynn, Amy Porterfield, Shalene Johnson, been able to host my own events and help people unleash their minds and their coaching businesses. And I want to talk about what's going on in the market really quickly. Now, you might have a couple ouch moments. It's okay. But I'm just going to go through this because this is what's broken. And if for some reason you've learned it this way, or this is what you've been doing, or you're thinking about doing, you're going to learn differently today. So here's what 99% of coaches do, and I want you to stop doing it because it's making you broke. You chase struggling coaches, chase broken marketing guru strategies, jumping from one strategy to the next, buying one course to the next, to the next, to the next with course shame, hoping that one would finally work. By the way, I did that too. So I'm with you. I've broken free from this, but chasing those broken guru strategies, hoping the next one will work and the next one will work. Using broken coaching methods, do what I do, or shift in language pattern on a call. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been coached where somebody says, do what I do, and just think the way I think, and you get off the call and you try and you're motivated and you're all inspired, and then your thinking doesn't think the way they think, and then now it's not working? And tell me in the chat, do you feel like you got a result when you can't do what the coach tells you should work? Do you feel better from that coaching or worse? Better or worse? Let me know that. This is what broken coaching is doing in the marketplace today. Yeah. Worse. And tell me, if you are getting that kind of transformation here, worse transformation for your clients, so much worse, then tell me, do you think they're going to re-enroll? And do you think that you're going to have freedom? Yeah, you're going to feel like a failure. Exactly. Broken coaching methods. There is a right and a wrong way to coach. Here's the thing. A lot of struggling coaches expect their future clients to believe in them more than they believe in themselves. They sell and market like marketers, not like a coach. We talked about that. Yes, coaching is different. Don't sell it like a phone. We're going to talk about how to do that over tomorrow and the next day, especially. Most struggling coaches make the mistake to think they can interrupt patterns in language and produce motivation for their clients, just to tell their clients that what they've done and hope it works for them too. We talked about that. They don't actually change what's hardwired up here. These brain-based beliefs, these patterns of thinking that cause their clients to float around getting super inconsistent results, which means you don't get powerful testimonials because the client's results aren't consistent, making it even harder to sell your coaching. And honestly, there's no regulation. So many people are getting in the business. The coaching industry has untrained coaches, making a bad name for the industry in itself. There is a right and a wrong way to coach. Okay, I want you to hear this. This is gonna be a huge aha for someone today. People don't buy coaching. No one buys coaching. Well, wait, Shannon, I thought you said the coaching industry is exploding and month over month over month it's growing. Yes, it is. But people do not want to buy coaching. That is not what their mind says when their head hits the pillow and they don't have the result they want. What they want is transformation. What they want is results. So they are not buying coaching. They are buying transformation and they are buying results. Who had an aha right now? Maybe in the way, even the way you've been selling or the way you've been approaching it. Coaching, I never want you to sell your coaching. I always want you to sell your transformation, your ability to get results. And the confidence to know 100% of the time you can lies in having the right model to coach with. All right, so let's get into some keys. The key belief that I need for you to walk away from this call with in order to shift things. Now, I'm going to tell you the belief, and overnight, I'm going to have you thinking about this. And tomorrow, I'm going to break down how to install the belief permanently. Okay? But the key belief that you must have in order to sell your coaching transformation or results to a client is you have to believe that you are in demand right now, as you are right now. You have to believe that I am in demand. There are people waiting for me to be able to coach them, that no one else can coach them the way I coach them with my specific knowledge, my background. And of course, I'm going to encourage you to get certified through the NeuroCoach certification so you have that transformational model. But here's what I need you to really, the key belief. If you walk away from this 3 days with each other and don't install this belief, then it will be really a struggle. Really a struggle. So I want you in the chat. I know you're not going to feel like it. Your brain's going to have what I call a temper tantrum, right? Like a toddler does when they're in the candy aisle at Target. You know what I'm talking about? It's going to say, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't see evidence of it. There's no evidence in front of me. I know. It's okay. We have to install that belief so a pathway can build. And so the pathway gets stronger and we start to remove the other one. You cannot expect, lean into me for a second. You can't expect people to believe that you're worth coaching with more than they do. You can't expect them to believe in you more than you do. So this key belief that I am in demand now, exactly where I am at, even if I haven't coached a single person, even if I've been coaching for 3 years and don't have the results I want, exactly who I am right now, I'm in demand. So in the chat, I want you to write, I am in demand right now, and then put on the end of that, for what type of results. Are you a business coach? Say that. For life coaching, for health coaching, for whatever it is that you are thinking about getting into. And if you have I don't know what I'm really wanting to coach around, that's okay too. We're going to talk about that in detail tomorrow, but I want you to write in the chat right now, I am in demand right now for my coaching in blank. Okay. This is step one to start to install this belief. The key belief is I'm in demand right now. And your brain's going to argue that fact. That's why we need to install that as a belief. So let's jump in. Who has gone all in here? So oh, that's funny, Heather. You always crack me up. Lillian saying, I'm in demand right now for health results. Heather, I'm in high demand right now for transforming from survivor to thriving as a woman. Heather saying, I'm in demand right now for financial coaching. I'm in demand right now for nurse wellness transformational coaching. Jessica, I love that. I don't know your name, but I'm going to read it. So always put your name at the end. I am in demand right now for life coaching. My clients are waiting for me. I'm in demand right now to coach empty nest mamas for better health and to age stronger. I'm in demand right now for my coaching and self-care. I'm curious. And Catherine wrote, I am in demand right now for people who are looking to transform in career and life transitions. So beautiful. So good. I'm in demand right now for life coaching. All right. So tell me in the chat, we just did one installation. It's not totally installed yet, but we started the installation process of building a pathway toward demand, like literally building that pathway toward demand. So I want you to just say what you wrote out loud to yourself. Don't worry if people are around you. It's okay. Just own it. I am in demand right now for people who are looking to transform in their career. And I want you to say it out loud. And then when you do that, I want you to come back in the chat and tell me the emotion that followed that thought. Tell me the emotion that followed that thought. Because what you're going to notice is how thoughts create emotions. And yes, I understand that the toddler part of the brain is going to have a couple temper tantrums and come up with reasons, but I want you to get in the experience of how a thought creates an emotion. And we're going to dive deep tomorrow into how to actually install that permanently. So she's like, excitement. What else? What other emotions did you feel when you said that out loud? Nervousness, but excitement, and kind of silly, but excited, right? By the way, all the same neurochemicals. Isn't that funny? Heather's like, I felt like winning the championship game, right? Because it's like your brain starts to solve what you're saying. Say that. I want you to write that down. My brain starts to solve what I'm saying, right? So I'm in demand right now from overcomer women who do not want to settle and are ready to get results. I love it. Lillian said she felt excited. What else did you feel? I felt I love that. You felt it in your heart, a physical manifestation of that energy. That, by the way, is scripture and science, which is crazy pants because everybody calls it woo. It's not woo. That's what happens when a thought aligns with your intention. It's so good. My brain starts solving what I'm saying. Happy, excited. All right. So everybody knows what's the key belief. I must believe for my coaching business to be wildly profitable. Write it in the chat. I am in demand tomorrow, 10 years from now, I'm in demand right now as I am, right? Okay. All right, let's keep going. All right, so the key activity you must master, and don't worry, tomorrow and the next day we're going to dive into how do you master this one. Same thing with the key belief is how to connect with people you need. So if you are in demand right now, that means people are knocking at your door wanting your coaching. If you did not connect with them, they would not say they want to coach with you. Is that a yes or a no? Meaning they can be in demand, but if you do not have a connection with them, they are not going to want to move forward. Yes or no? Tell me that in the chat. Yes or no? So yes. Connection is key. I have a question for you. I'm just going to go a little meta here for a second. When we started talking at the top of the hour and I started telling you some stories about where I've been and the things I've gone through and what I've created and what I've struggled with, tell me, say, I feel connected to you. If you started to create, there was this connection with me that maybe you had beforehand or maybe you didn't, but you're even going deeper in a connection, having the conversation in your head, like, oh, I can learn from her. I want to see the experiences she's had. I feel safe with her. I feel like I can learn from her. If that was your experience, then I'm just wanting to show you how vital connection is. And connection is currency. And I mean that in a flowing way, not in a money way. It works money as well, but connection is currency. So for transformation to work, there has to be relationship, right? There has to be a relationship where you trust your coach and you're willing to trust the process because you know she's got your back and she has the right method and can get you where you want to go. So the key activity that we work with in the certification is creating that connection. Now, please hear me clearly. I don't mean connection with the world. I don't mean connection with every single person not in your niche. In fact, that's going to actually fill people coming into your room that you don't want to work with. Who's ever been in that scenario where they have gotten a client, but because of what they're saying and the connection that they've created, they've called forward people they don't love working with? Almost every day I hear that from somebody who's joining the certification that's already been coaching. I got to figure this out. How do I connect with the right people? Can I get an amen on that? You want to connect, but you want to connect with people that light your soul on fire, that you love helping, that they get transformation 100% of the time, and they're telling everybody and they're selling out your program. Get an amen for that. Who would love to have that level of connection with the right person, Oh, I love it, Jessica. I love it. Yeah. And that's, and of course, connection, you know it right away when it's fake. You know that? Like, have you felt that? You've been on like a training or you've been on something and you could tell this person's selling to me. This person doesn't care for my results. And everybody that's part of my community that's live knows that I say this all the time. My biggest win, the win I am shooting for, is for you to surpass me. Like, that's what I am shooting for. So I'm always looking to grow you from 0 to your first client to 3K a month, 3K to 10K, 10K to multiple 7 figures, because the more money you make, the more people you help, right? It's just it's just how, in Uganda, we trade different things. We trade matoke, we trade goats, but here we trade money. So the result of serving at a super high level is that stream of income that creates the freedom that you told me you wanted. All right, so I want to dive in. We're at 12:45. I'm going to be really mindful of your time because we have 2 more days together. So I'm going to go fast, but we'll review this again tomorrow, because I want to unlock for you this coach's 6-figure code. There is a code of thoughts, a code of actions, a code of beliefs at each level of your coaching business that you must surpass to go to the other. No other coach is sharing this. No other coach is unlocking this. And here's the thing. I discovered this by bruising my knees and by skinning my elbows and trying to proceed when all of it wasn't leveled out. Like, I didn't have all the thoughts and I tried to move forward and it boomeranged me back. I don't want you to boomerang back. I want you to fly, right? And so I'm going to break down for you what I call the 6-figure code, which can unleash 7 and 8 without guessing, What's next? What do I do next? How do I do that? Anybody in the how, right? How, if you're like, I just want to know how I do that. That's why I showed up to this call. Tell me how this is working. So don't worry, you'll understand it better. Or here's the big one: comparing yourself to others and feeling like you can't trust your own intuition. You don't know. Right? So this code becomes very, very important. Now, I know there's a lot here. Don't get overwhelmed. We're going to go through it all together, but I want you to focus in on that starting to traction level, because we're going to be talking about that for the next 10 minutes. And then tomorrow we'll dive deeper into how do I accelerate through this code, and how do I coach the right way. Let me learn that, and how, because of course we want to create raving fans that sell for us, right? Right, we do, right? Okay, and then how do we grow an audience? How do we lock up the demand with actually seeing the physical audience there, and how do we sell to them? So that's what we're doing over the next couple days. But let's dive into this starting area. Now, if this is you, meaning you either have 0 sales or up to 12K in sales, meaning you might have sold a few packages here or there, but you haven't gone over 12,000 in sales. And it's, by the way, absolutely no shame, because if I would have had what I'm teaching you at this stage, it would have made everything go so much smoother, so much faster. I wouldn't have as many bruises and bumps on my knees and my elbows and my forehead. So if that's you, I just want you to write the word starting in the chat. And here's the great news. If you're starting from the right place matters, right? Starting from the right place matters. Like if you start in a race, it's not good to actually start from behind 10 racers. Like you really want to be the first racer in the start, up at the starting block, so that you have a clear path, that you know exactly where to run to go fast, right? So if you're just getting started, then we're going to break this down, meaning most of you probably had a sale or two, or maybe not, but you absolutely, this is all in there. We will, you can take a screenshot if you'd like, that kind of thing, but we're going to go detail later. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of you are starting, not all of you are starting. Some of you are in the traction phase. We're going to dive into the traction phase tomorrow, but here's how we're spending our time. If we're at this place, we're still a little bit dabbling. We may still have a 9-to-5 job or some other source of income, because our coaching business isn't all the way where it needs to be yet. So our identity is in the dabbler stage, right? We're trying to get started. You'll hear yourself saying that a lot. I'm starting my coaching business, or I'm growing my coaching business. You're saying that more often. You're thinking my past creates a solution. Meaning I've gone through something, I want to help other people go through it better. If that's you right now, if you're like, I've been through something, I have created a result, or I've gone through something hard and I've overcome, or I've created a result and other people need that result and I want to help them with that, say me in the chat. By the way, remember I said they're layered. So almost everybody that does go into the coaching business thinks their past creates a solution, and it does. You're gonna learn how to layer on top of that to create sold out programs. But my past creates a solution, right? So I shared with you how my past, meaning I was hitting that entrepreneur glass ceiling, that once I busted through that and learn how to train the mind to allow success, I was able to take my past to create a solution. So definitely it was there. I want to see all my me's there. Me, my past creates a solution. Okay, good. Okay, so that's what we're thinking at the time. The biggest need we have is action. So everything you're learning today, tomorrow, and the next day is action. We're already talking about the belief to install, the connection to create, and what we need to be doing in order for people to hear and see us. So we are in the action of acquiring knowledge right now. And so you're in the perfect place. You're acquiring. Now, here's the key. Where people fall off and get in a big mistake right here, and I shared it earlier, is they start acquiring too much knowledge that does not apply to where they are right now. In other words, they're buying things about launching, but they don't have a client yet. They're buying, like, they're just ping-ponging all over the place. I understand we have an entrepreneur brain. I have that same brain too. I have about 1 million things I like to do. Can I get a witness? Can I get an amen? I'm always thinking about 1 million solutions for you, and 1 million things I want to share, and 1 million events like this that I want to do. So we're always kind of ping-ponging, but we got to acquire targeted knowledge. at this place. And that's what you're doing here. So I'm really excited for you. We're asking the question, who do I want to serve? We have to solve that. We have to solve that. And I want to show you how to solve that today. The beliefs that we're in right now is I want to. You hear yourself, I want to grow my coaching business. I want to start my coaching business. So that's the belief state that you're in right now. And a lot of fear around what if this thing doesn't work? What if I can't get it off the ground? What if I fail? Right? So the key thing to take away from this starting place is really understanding, who do I want to serve? Because just like I said on creating demand, I don't want to create demand for people that I don't want to serve, because that to me is horrible. Because then you're serving people. I mean, serving is always good to serve, but in terms of your business, you aren't serving what you are called to do. So I want to dive into who you serve. And I want to start with this. You've heard this probably already if you've been around the online space. Got to know your niche, got to know your niche. Again, niche in coaching is different than niche in marketing. So I'm curious, if you think right now, I know my niche well, I want you to write what your niche is in the chat. Write your niche in the chat. If you know, like, I already know who I serve and I know them perfectly well, I want you to, and if you have a guess, that's okay too. Just write in the chat, this is my niche. My niche is, okay, millions things. Okay, by the way, if you have squirrel brain, most entrepreneurs do, but you got to learn how to harness it. And we talk about that. Oh, I see. It's not streaming live on, oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So I'm waiting for niches. Niches. Older women that want to do keto, Lillian says. Awesome. What else? Who else? I love that. If you don't know, say don't know. Say don't know. I'm not sure. Say I don't know, or I'm not sure, because I'm waiting for 102 of you to answer right now. So women affected by domestic abuse, nurse, wellness through work, changing core patterns. So Jessica, keep that real clean. Nurses. I serve nurses. Okay, with health wellness. Women, mid-30s to late 60s, big group. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that, Catherine, because we need to pull that in. STEM, 50 plus women who don't want to settle. I know that's Barbara. I just don't see you. I'm not sure. Great. I'm glad you're not sure, because we can go into this really. Okay, middle-aged folks combating stress. Right now, stress is a big one. All right, so knowing your niche, who do I serve? If we don't answer this question, we can't get past that 12K mark. I'm just spitting truth instead of what you wanted to hear. I told you that, right? I'm going to tell you exact path to get there, because I am tired of coaches that literally are called by God to transform people's lives. I'm really, really tired of seeing them not have sales, because you not having sales means you are not impacting who God himself has called you to impact in the world. If you're not a God person, that's okay. That's my belief. You do you. But here's what I know. You were like literally imparted with something that no one else has. So if you don't know your niche, your people cannot hear you. Therefore, you will not sell. And therefore, you will want to give up when people really need what you have, and your family and your freedom and your impact need it too. So who do I serve? Here's the thing. The big mistake I see, I want to help everyone. So if you're saying stuff like, I help people from 19 to 70, I'm telling you, they can't hear you. So I want to give you an example. I also want to point out one small thing. Please don't throw a shoe at me, because I'm doing this in love. Okay. This is from my heart to want to see you successful, not just stalled. So you get to choose successful or stalled. But here's what I see. I want to help everyone. Well, I hate to tell you this, but that is actually scarcity. What? Shannon, I want to help everyone. I don't want to leave anybody out. I want to help everybody. How do I help everybody? No. What you're really saying, or what your brain's really saying, is if I say I only want to help this group, that I don't trust that enough of them will buy. So I'm going to help everyone to create better odds. And that's scarcity, my friend. We've got to retrain, or we need to train that thinking out of the mind so that you can help your perfect person. So the biggest mistake I hear a lot is I want to help everyone. So let's take one I see a lot associated with everyone. I help you with productivity. Okay. So you know right now that there are millions of people with messages online, right? So saying I help with productivity is like walking into whatever your favorite football team is. I'm living in Dallas right now, so I'll say the Cowboys, but you do you. Like whatever your favorite sports team is, it's like walking in the middle of all those fans and trying to shout when they're making a touchdown. Like they're making a touchdown, like the roar is loud, and you're like, oh, people with productivity. No one's going to hear you. No one's going to hear you. Okay. And so, why is that important? Because the way you sell coaching is you connect. And connecting means you understand me. You know my problems, you know my pain, and you know my situation. And I have a question for you. If you're saying you're going to help people from 20 to 70, does a 20-year-old have different pain, problems, and desires than a 70-year-old? The answer to that, tell me in the chat. I hope is yes. Yeah, right. So I'm going to give you an example of how to take something as big net as productivity and start to really pull it down so that people can really hear you. All right. So, and I just thought of another way to do it. So what, instead of productivity, how about productivity for coaches? So if you're a coach, say, I'm listening in the chat, if that made you listen. I've gone from, I'm going to teach you productivity, or this is productivity for coaches. Okay, remember, we're always talking about the transformation, not coaching, right? So productivity for coaches. Yeah, you say, I can hear you now, right? If I'm a coach, I can hear you now. They have different pain points, right? All right, so let's go even deeper. I help with productivity for coaches that are moms. Now, did I just eliminate dads and other people? Well, yeah. But if I'm a mom and I'm a coach and you're telling me you're going to help me with productivity for coaches that are moms, I know that you're going to help me balance out my family life with my business life, and you're going to help me be productive in all those areas. I feel seen and heard in a way that I am not seen and heard with either of the two before. Say get it if you get it. Say get it. I'm getting it. I get it if you're getting it. Okay. All right. So let's go more. I'm just going to go really deep so you can see how it feels different. How about productivity for health coaches that are moms? All right, now we're talking about a whole different thing, because we might be doing one-on-one coaching with people. Like, so now I'm talking specific about the issues of productivity for health coaches that are also moms. And we can keep going. You get the idea. What about productivity for corporate health coaches that are moms? Totally different than a health coach that is mom selling online, right? So you're getting more specific. You know their pain, you know their desired states, you know their problems even more. Let's even go deeper. What about productivity for corporate C-suite health coaches that are moms? You get the idea. So what I'm wanting you to do tonight, I don't like using the word homework, but your opportunity for growing your business is to get in the Unleashed Entrepreneur Facebook group if you're not in there already. And I want you to go live or post. I prefer live because I'll engage with you more, because I'll know you more and get more intimacy with you. But either one, post or go live and tell me how you taken your niche from where you started today to we call it micro niching. Micro niching. Now, here's the coolest thing that happens when you micro niche. First of all, people hear you. People start to buy from you. People start to coach from you. What you learn tomorrow is you're going to get 100% transformation, and they're going to start telling people, in this example, in their C-suite, so you'll get more of them. But by the way, those corporate health coaches, they're going to still hear you too, because they're going to hear the person above them in the C-suite got those amazing results, and they want what the people in the C-suite want too. So here we said we're not talking to everyone, but because of aspiration, people are going to be drawn in because you've micro niched. So I just want you to play with this, like take it one level deeper, right? If you haven't put an age, put an age. If you haven't really created a male versus female, Shannon, I help them both. Great. Then get really deep on a specific problem, but take your niche deeper. So this is your challenge, homework, if you want to call it, your action step. Remember, action is big at this 12K and under level. and really start to play with, massage with, who do I serve? And how can they hear me? Because I'm talking to them, not screaming to the world, right? Right? All right. So tomorrow we're going to hit traction. We're going to go deeper into that, to finding your people. We're going to do this tomorrow because we're hitting the top of the hour. So I'm going to hit that tomorrow. I'll move that in tomorrow. But tomorrow we're going to hit how to create demand. Like, I've talked to you about the belief of having the belief I can create demand now. But tomorrow we're going to talk about how do I create demand, and without the TikTok dancing or the who's ready to not have to jump ship and do the latest trend thing in order to feel like they're in the most popular place, just like high school again, to get demand. So no, like, that's not what I'm teaching you. You can go learn that. Good luck creating your coaching business with that. But I'm going to teach you how to really create demand. So write demand if you're excited about that. I want to see what you're excited about most. We're going to keep going through the 6-figure coach. We're going to that process. So in that, I'm going to teach you how to sell like coaches, like a coaches. I need to edit that. Sorry. So in other words, I'm going to teach you the anti-marketing sales strategy that I use, and I teach my certification clients so that they sell out their programs and without sleazy marketing. And then finally, I'm going to teach you tomorrow and the next day on how to coach the right way, without fear that you will not get them the results, because you will know that you know that you know that you have literally created transformation at the source. So that's what we get to look forward to tomorrow and the next day. If today has been value, I see all you saying demand. So if today has been valuable for you, if today has moved the needle for you, if you've had an aha today, maybe through the 6-figure millionaires code, maybe it was through learning the key belief, learning the key action that you must be in, if it's micro niching, if today has been powerful for you in one way or another, if you've taken something out of today that you will take action on, then say in the chat, today was worth it. Because that's how I know that I'm serving you on the deepest level. Thank you, Heather. I see that, because I am making sure I hit you with not just good ideas, but what's working now, what allows you to unleash that vision that you have for your coaching business within 67 days, so that you're starting to build that client base, create demand, and create a sold out coaching business. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, tomorrow, 12 p.m. So Central, I almost made a mistake. 12 p.m. Central, which is 10 a.m. Pacific, which is 1 p.m. Eastern. If you're not in those time zones, you'll have to do the math. But 12 p.m. Central, and tomorrow and the next day, we're going to be deep diving in demand, selling, and coaching the right way. You're going to walk away with massive tools for growing your business the right way, selling the right way, and serving in a way that makes a difference. All right. I loved being with you. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Now, listen, don't forget, tonight in the group, go in and post your niche. And I'm going to encourage you, if you've never gone live before, it's such a safe group to do that in. And those that are in here that are part of that group and part of the Neuro Coach, part of 67 Day, which is another program, they'll tell you it's the best way to get your feet wet, to let people see you and hear you about the niche that you are stepping into. So go into the group, post either a post with your niche on it, or you going live, tell me your niche, practice it. Remember, I'm in demand right now for that niche. And so let me know that in the chat. Or in the group, I will go in there tonight. I'll be commenting on everything, and I'll see you back here tomorrow at 12 p.m. All right. Thank you for allowing me to serve you today. I will see you tomorrow at noon. Bye for now.